Hello, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Chimaobi, and I'm the host of today's very inspiring session, Bridging Energy Management Gaps through Metering in Nigeria's Higher Institutions. Today, we have a very experienced, seasoned engineer with a lot of experience on this topic, and his name is Engineer Oluwaseun Ajiboye. He is the principal engineer slash assistant head at the power distribution unit at the University of First Choice, University of Lagos. So over to you, Engineer Oluwaseun.
Okay, good afternoon. Please kindly confirm if you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We'll be looking at the topic bridging energy management gaps through metering in Nigeria higher institution. And I looked at this topic. I discovered that it has direct link to three of the SDG goals, which is the affordable and clean energy, quality education, and sustainable cities and communities. And it shows that it is an apt topic. Now, I first look at the preamble. I saw these two preambles. The first one is that energy is the lifeline of a modern economy and a foundation for development. Without energy, hospitals can't operate, business can't grow, and students can't study after dark. And expanding access to reliable and affordable energy can raise living standards and all what have you from the World Bank. And now, bringing this closer to us, the global electricity consumption has been increasing since last year, 2023, and a higher. Since last year, 2024. In 2023, we had an increase of about 2.5% growth, but in 2024 we had about 4.3, and this is expected to grow higher. So we see that the need for electricity is increasing, and we know that almost all our life now revolves around electricity. So it shows its importance to us. Now, a few definitions. First is energy management. Refers to the process of monitoring, controlling, and optimizing energy consumption to reduce waste, lower cost, and minimize environmental impact. Then I deliberately picked this metering system and smart metering from the metering code version 02. I think that's the latest now. To show us that there's difference between meter and metering. Many people are not aware of that. So metering system consists of all the architecture, both hardware and software that involve in it. And the smart metering now goes higher, by employing IoTs and what have you. So when you're talking of smart metering, you'll be talking about advanced metering infrastructure, which is with real-time data capturing and monitoring. Now, higher institution or higher education, as the case may be. I found this definition interesting from the Britannica. It says higher institution refers to post-secondary learning at institutions like universities and colleges, leading to degrees, diplomas, or certificates. It also includes professional schools for fields like laws and what have you. And now the aims of higher education is to act as a gateway to national economies and higher social status. It enhances interpersonal skills, offers diverse connections. So from this, we can see the role of higher institutions, and unlike other organizations, or unlike industries or firms that their direct profit professional enhancement and what have you. And so I don't know if many of us remember sometimes last year and upward when the reform in the electricity sector took another tone, and we have bands come up, and many universities and even some colleges of education and polytechnics were moved to band A. And we saw many universities were put on darkness, and the same way some polytechnics, and you see some universities electricity bill running to millions, and effective, like for University of Lagos, running to almost 500,000 per month, and that will be giving you almost about 6 billion naira a year. So how do you, if the university is to carry out research and development, innovation, to teach, why lay such a burden on such an institution? That's another side. But we see what the role of our institution is and what the aim is. Now, why energy management? It's because there seems to be some challenges, and we'll be looking at that from here. Energy management challenges that we have in our campuses are infrastructure. First, infrastructure. Some of our campuses don't even have meter at all, missing infrastructure. Some have outdated meters. I remember the history of metering in UNILAG. When I got to the unit, one of the oldest staff there was telling me in those years, government was supporting education very, very seriously. So metering was more like a guide on usage. So how they came about their billing system was they go to a particular place, look at what do they have there, and allocate cost for each, not by measuring. Then they grew from there to installing electromechanical meters, energy meters, and after that, we moved to the smart meter, starting with the magnetic card meters, then to the keypad meters, which is the modern day meter. So that's the phase that we have in UNILAG, and I think by the information that I gathered, from last year, they've began to remove all. We have stopped installing electromechanical meters as far back as 5 years ago, but we have now actively removed them, and all of them are being replaced. Even the electromagnetic card meters are also currently being phased out, so that we can have an updated metering system. So that is key to it. Then we have the case of so if you have that challenge of infrastructure, of course, monitoring is challenged. You won't be able to monitor accurate data, even in billing system. You have that. Then operational efficiency, you have increased energy cost, inefficient usage pattern. You find places where meters are not installed, you often find energy wastage there. I remember some of our feeders in UNILAG at the time before the active metering system. I think that was around between 2013, 2015. That was when we started actively. Before then, one of our feeder that was feeding one of our quarters was having one of them was carrying as much as about as low as maybe 600. Yes, that about 600. That was one. So we can look at, can we see the margin? So sometimes if we have the correct infrastructure in place, energy, earlier we started from how energy is increasing, and we are running to meet it. So even the little energy efficiently. So operational efficiency is one of the challenge that lack of metering causes, and eventually you have sustainability challenge also. People tend to now use generators and what have you, and that all leads to inefficient energy management. Now, how will metering bridge this gap? I've hinted partly on it. Now, metering, first, if we look at this energy management gaps, Metering will help us see what the energy use pattern is. So we can I'm aware that energy audit was taken on this campus sometimes I think 2021, maybe engineer Chimaobi will correct me. Their center carried out some, and even in when I was in metering, we were monitoring some faculties, and you can imagine, we need to put this thing in proper perspective. Maybe let me chip this in here. Higher institutions of learning are majorly research centers, and some research are very sensitive that they need continuous supply of electricity. Now, if for any reason this supply is interrupted, some of this research has to be started all over again. It's not like industry or like some firm like that. So that is what is, and what this research will do is to the aim is to help our society to be better. So if this challenge is not removed, we have serious issue in our hands. And again, research does not have immediate benefit, but it has a long-term benefit. And so when we get to implementation and what will help us, we see how each and every one of us the inefficient energy use pattern will be discovered. Then it can help us allocate resources more effectively. We know areas where energy are needed and areas where energy are wasted. That where energy are wasted can be nipped. Like sometimes ago, we started a campaign on switching off any electricity appliances that is not being in use, and I think that's about 2 years ago. It has constantly appeared in our news flash to keep people aware of the need for responsible and sustainable energy use, and that talks about the enhanced energy efficiency. So if energy are well managed, and metering will help us see where there are loopholes. If the usage is not measured, there's no way you know where there is metering. I mean, where there is wastage. I remember sometimes people will come and my meter is running fast. I see them that I say, no, relax. What do you have? When we look at the equipment they have, some people will leave their lights on 24/7. Some will keep their fan on. Some will even, for fear of their bill not running, they will switch off their AC but leave their fan, about 4 fans running in rooms that are not being used. And that sat some people down. I said, if you run your fan and assume at about 70 to 80 watts, if you run it for 10 hours and you run it for how many days, you have already you are running away from your bill being running because of AC. You have wasted energy and you have run even much more than that. So metering will help raise awareness for customers to know where energy is being wasted. Then also we have improved areas, optimization in energy use in different areas. Now, what are the scalable solutions that we can employ so that these things can help us have sustainable energy and our campuses can run more? The first is adopting, and this is more like an awareness campaign, adopting advanced metering infrastructure. This can provide accurate real-time data on energy consumption. So it gives utility companies, and it gives us idea of how energy is being used, what period of day consumes more energy. Then it helps to know the areas we can optimize its usage. What period you look at what period of the day, which area of the campus uses much energy. We started this campaign again also, I think about 2 years ago now. Some of our hostels, we've started installing maximum demand meters so that we can even know actually how much energy is consumed in hostels, how much energy is consumed in academic and administrative buildings, how much energy are consumed in faculties. Now almost all our staff quarters are metered, except those that have 40 meters currently that are being replaced. Almost more than 70% of our staff quarters are metered already. So that area is covered, and there's clear difference in responsible energy usage. So these technologies also allows for better monitoring, control, and optimization of energy use, ensuring the institution can make timely decisions regarding energy management practice. So it also AMI will also help management because we can get real-time data and report collisions. Reports can be queried for a specific purpose to get a particular data out, which will help for administrative decisions on what to be done or what not to be done. Advantage of smart metering in bridging this gap is having real-time data analytics, how energy is being used. This can help implement energy-saving measures more effectively and promoting overall efficiency. And the gain of this thing is cost saving. It's cost saving by reducing the burden on our campus. Particularly, we're using University of Lagos as a case study here. It will help reduce the burden of energy use, energy cost on the management. Also, training awareness program for stakeholders. This is also very key. Majority of our energy use, or some of our energy use, let me be mild with that, are majorly based due to irresponsible use of energy. People leave their offices and leave their AC on. Some people even leave their light on during the day. Of what use is a light outside? I mean, an outdoor light on during the day. That energy could be converted to something else. So it is important that staff, students, and all stakeholders are sensitized on the need for conservation of energy, and also training to adopt sustainable energy behavior. And again, there's this call also for government, business, philanthropists, and development bank. Each of all these entities play a crucial role, and this according to World Bank. World Bank also is calling on all these things, all these organizations for collaboration to meeting energy demand, energy need worldwide. Now, as the case may be, we are looking at our campuses. It is very necessary that we need all hands on deck. The institution's primary role is to carry out research. They have operations and operating running costs. These costs, if relieved on them, will help our campuses to focus more on what their primary assignment is, and will help them churn out much more beneficial research. And this is my final word, that today electricity is central to the smooth operations of modern day our institution for delivery of quality research, innovation, and solutions to achieving sustainable cities and communities. We know that most of our activities today revolve around electricity, and they are graduating to electronics, and the smarter they become, the more reliant we are on it. So bridging energy management gap through metering is crucial for promoting energy efficiency, sustainability, and cost savings. And the call here is that as we move forward from here, each and every one of us, both professionals, government, can help with policies that will help reduce this burden on our institutions. And institutions, in turn, needs to carry out continuous awareness for all the stakeholders on our campuses on how to reduce wastage and how to be more responsible with energy use, so that we can create a more sustainable future for our campuses, and so that we can be able to make the world a better place to be. Thank you all. If there's any question, we can take that.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sean, for this very short but very brilliant presentation. Thank you very much. For me, I think that this webinar needs to get to as many higher institutions of learning as possible that we have in Nigeria. I know most people are writing their exams at the moment, but we'll find a way to record the session and also put it out so that people can watch later. But now the floor is open for questions. If you have any, please can feel free by raising up your hands or typing in the chat box. Thank you. Okay, at the moment I do not see any hands up for questions, but I think I have some questions for you, so you can provide some more clarification. So you mentioned that at the moment the staff quarters is, by your estimates, roughly around 70% of the staff quarters are metered. So the question I would love to ask is there any plan to increase the metering to 100%? For example, is there any plan right now? And second question is if the people in the staff quarters are the ones who purchase their own meters themselves, or if it's the university that provides the meters for them, and how do they go about the financing? These are my questions for now. Thank you.
Okay, so the first question, the first question is about plan to make the metering 100%, right?
Yes, that's the question. Yes.
Then who is responsible for the purchase of the meter? Okay, so yes, the plan to is not we are not stopping. The plan is to do the metering 100%. I'd related the data. If you have that reduction from I don't know, from almost 2 megawatts load to 600 kilowatts, that's a huge savings. So the management are seeing that is the way to go, and the intensity at which we are going about it is very high. So the aim is that very shortly, in fact, as soon as possible. And now I think the second part of it, let me take it with who is responsible for the purchase. Now, by next regulation, meter is part of the asset of utility company. So whoever is providing utility service is to bear the burden of the metering. So it is actually the school that has from time immemorial is the school that has been doing the purchase. However, in recent time, when the price of meter has increased greatly, and again, so what the university is doing now is to collaborate with customers and see those that would love to be metered, see how reach an agreement with them. They pay for the meter and they will get it in return as token, which is what I think the MAP and the other federal government interventions for metering, is also in that same manner. So what the cost is effectively on the university, and that is why the appeal is, if this cost is going to be on the university, is going to be from something. So those costs, if that burden is taking up the university, it will do a lot of help for us. So the university is the one that bears the burden, but there are modalities to make it win-win. So sometimes some customers are willing to pay upfront, so they pay, they get the meter installed, and they get the money back through tokens.
Thank you very much. I see 3 hands up now. I see Ogunfuyi Mukhtar. Please, Ogunfuyi Mukhtar, please proceed with your questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, sir. Thank you very much for this informative delivery, sir. So my question is, we are in my place in Ibadan, Bola Apata. So there is still this old card meter. It is, I think it's a smart card meter. Those old digital meter, with this screen, with this on screen punch card, but what I wanted to figure out is some months ago I saw a notice that those meters will be replaced because since I rent that apartment, I've been having issues with that meter. I will have to clean and clean and clean the smart card every time that I want to reload on that meter. I have issues with it every time. The punch pad there is faulty. The meter itself is somehow almost misbehave every time. So, and I think I went to the PHC IBDC office around BCJ there that time, and they told me that very soon they will start replacing those meters. And I also saw the information online some months ago, but since then nothing has been happening. And so I think I want to ask now, is there any move or anything that can be done on that very soon, if I can get the information? Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Engineer
Okay.
Shiu, do you want to
Okay.
answer the question?
Okay, let me quickly answer it. First,
All right.
that's your location is under Ibadan Disco,
Yeah.
and I'll be able to speak for Ibadan Disco. But what I know is that those meters are already phased out. I know Ikeja has sent notices and they have removed some of the customers. So because of these challenges that you are talking about, is those meters are out of their useful life, if I may put that. So I'm sure that the Ibadan is working, because it will also make their networking efficient. So I know they are working on that. So we are rest assured that soonest they come and change that.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. I will drop an email in the chat box, and then you can reach out to us there. We'll find a contact at Ibadan Disco to help you escalate it. I don't know if that's okay with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but this
I'll do
session
that.
was strictly for higher institutions, but it's okay. All right. I have another hand up here, and this hand up here is by, let me see, Engineer Idris Adeoye. Please go ahead. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for the opportunity.
Good afternoon.
I appreciate the guest speaker. My question goes thus. For example, now you installed a meter at apartments inside the institutions, and there is a high voltage that the meter got damaged. Who will be responsible for it? It is the service provider, or the end users, or the institution? Thank you.
Okay, thank you for the question. Let me go straight. Like I said again, meter is the property of the utility provider, and no customer has right to. The customer only has right after the meter to your apartment. So if anything happens to the meter, is the responsibility of utility provider. However, if a tampering is discovered, then the customer is liable for it. If it is probably your breaker, in some cases, depending on where your breaker is, if it's part of the portion that is supplied, of course, the utility is the university, as the case may be, that is responsible for that. But if it is anything after your meter to your house, your connection, that is your business. But the meter upward belongs to your utility provider and is responsible for the replacement and what have you.
All right. Thank you. Does that answer your question, Engineer? I can't see your name again.
Yes, sir, but I have a similar experience. Sorry for the stuff. I have a similar experience in Ibadan. My office, the meter got damaged due to the high voltage being supplied by the distribution company, which is IBDC. And after engaging them, they said, I will make a replacement by myself, front and back. But at the end of the day, I tried to make a payment. And I asked them a question. For example, it is allowable for a company, for an individual to be buying instruments for a company that is getting income from that device. So that is why I need the clarification, and thank you very much for this enlightenment and the opportunity. I will work on it at the back end in such a way that such thing will not happen again if it occur from my side. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Idris. We'll be happy to follow up with you to see if this is resolved and how it is resolved so that we can possibly document or share these learnings with others. Thank you very much. Next, we have Engineer Afe Buam Ogweda. I'm very sorry if I have not pronounced this correctly, but please, the floor is yours. Oh,
Good afternoon.
Ogweda. Good afternoon. Thank you.
Uh, Thank you for the presentation. My question is like this. Do you have plans for meter recertification in future to ensure proper energy accountability in future? Meter recertification. Thank you so much.
Sorry, come again. I didn't hear the first part.
I said, do you have plans for meter recertification to ensure proper energy accountability in future? Meter recertification.
Did you mean meter recertification? Recertification?
Yes, meter recertification in future to ensure proper energy accountability in future.
Okay, I would say that is clearly covered in the metering code version 2, like I quoted. So utility provider are aware of that. So the specific provision have been made. Meters, no device is created to last forever. So after its useful lifetime, it has to be called. Some will have to be checked again, and if it does not meet the requirements, it has to be withdrawn.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sean. We also have Olubenga Bangboshe. His hands are up. Please, can you open your mic? The floor is yours. Go ahead, Mr. Olubenga. We can't hear you. Hello, Mr. Olubenga. Can you please unmute and? All right, great. I think we'll move to Mr. Babalola Ulugbade. Please open your mic and the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for bringing to life this important issue. But since the Nigeria Society of Engineers Lagos branch is anchoring this presentation, I just want to plead that the students have, the branch students have sectionalized the presentation and restricted it to higher institutions. This is a national problem. It's like talking about building collapse. It's like talking about
Hello, sir. Are you still with us? I think we lost you for a bit.
general one. It will be appreciated. Thank you for this one. God bless you.
All right, sir. Thank you very much, sir. We have noted your suggestion, so we would organize another session um,
Oh,
so to allow more people to participate and join.
thank you.
All right, so you're welcome, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, I don't know if there are any other questions and any other questions or comments.
There are some questions in the chat box.
Ah, awesome. Okay, let me. Can you see them from your end, or should I read them out?
You can read. Okay, I can read them out from here and just respond to them.
Okay, so first question is from Habib Marafa, who says, "How is Nigeria's metering? How? Okay, let me rephrase. How can Nigeria's metering gap be closed?"
Okay, Nigeria metering gap being closed is already being handled by federal government for a while now, and you have different approaches from MAP to NNMP and what have you. So how it can be closed is that, and the federal government had read the Riot Act to all the discos that they must meter all customers, and we can see the first person that asked question had clearly revealed to us that all discos are really intensifying closing that metering gap. So I think that's my question. That's my response to that.
Awesome. Thank you very much. The next question is from Mubarak Ibrahim, and he says, "Are smart meters produced in Nigeria? If yes, how can UNILAG students tap into the opportunity of learning how to produce them? This can help develop Nigerian students." So first question is, are smart meters produced in Nigeria? And if the answer is yes, how can UNILAG students, I would say, how can students in general in our institutions tap into the opportunity of learning how to produce them?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. There are many meter manufacturers in Nigeria. We have Momas or Memco at what's this junction near before Mowe. If you are leaving Lagos by your left, is producing. We have Mojek. We have Conlog. We have MBH. So there are a lot. There are a lot. And if you get to NEC website, you see the accredited meter manufacturer. Now NEC is the regulator. NEMSA is the one that certify all activities and equipment in our electricity supply industry in Nigeria. So if you get to their website, you will see the certified meter manufacturing company and even professionals there. So for students, you can look for these companies, and you can write to do your IT industrial training there and what have you. So, and if you need, you can go through some of your lecturers, or even you can reach out to us also.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Sean, for that answer. So, if you wish to learn about smart metering production, the simple answer is to find a way to intern if you are still a student with these companies. And if you don't know how to reach out to them, you can send us an email and we'll reach out to Engineer Seun and others in our contact who can put you in touch with these companies. So thank you very much. Habib Marafa says the slides for this webinar and the slides for the ISO webinar. Yes, so for this webinar, we would send you the PPT slides, we'll send you the recording of the webinar, and we'll also send you a certificate of attendance if you are interested. For ISO, we would organize a proper session for ISO. We've spoken with our facilitator, and we'll make that arrangement and communicate with everyone as soon as it is ready. So please bear with us. Thank you. We have a question here from Olubenga Bangoshe, who says, how do we incorporate smart meters into the system? So I guess this system might also mean into our universities. So how do we incorporate smart meters into the system? Engineer Sean?
It's already been incorporated. We smart metering starts from, let me say, start from the keypad key token meters, and that is why last year we have the TID rollover that many of us, almost all of us, are using prepaid meter. We have that campaign, and all of us had to get KCT from our disco so that our meter does not, we are able to load. And if you fail to do that within a particular time, it will not receive token. So those are some of the smartness. What actually happened with TID rollover is a check on the integrity of the meters to continue to verify token. So that is that. So smart metering starts from that one. If you are talking of advanced metering infrastructure, you're talking about being able to capture real-time data, and you get your hourly readings and what have you. That is done in phases, and most of the meters, at least a majority in our network, we have some Mojek meters, we have MOMAS meters. At least I know of those two. They are GPRS enabled. They have, you can connect to them and get your data real time. So is beyond the meter, there is the vending system and the coordinating software also. So that you may have to implement them in phases. You can't just start, just want to do, especially if you have a running network. So that is started already, and I'm aware that most of the discos too have such, ongoing. And as technology improves, you see it continually being incorporated in it.
Thank you very much. We have a question again saying, what is the midpoint of distributed renewable energy and discos considering net metering? What is the midpoint of distributed renewable energy and discos considering net metering? So I guess this question might mean, how does net metering come in between these two concepts? Engineer Sean?
I may not be able to speak for the discos, like I said. What we have in University of Lagos is a mini disco, but we don't have such incorporation in our network. So majorly all our customers are supplied from a single source, which is the university. So generating unit, or the utility supply to us, and we just distribute to our customers. So we don't have such. But the midpoint that may be there is, I think I would say, is dependent on between what would be more efficient or cost efficient to the customers, and also business make business sense to the discos.
All right, thank you very much, Engineer Shehu.
Yeah.
So there's a question here from Mr. Tunde, and it says, as a maximum demand customer, do you get monthly half-hourly energy data usage from your physical meters or from your supplier? Do you get monthly half-hour energy data usage from your physical meters or from your supplier?
Well, I don't. First, I would say I don't understand this question completely, because there seems to be maybe because of, I don't know. But let me try and explain it this way. University of Lagos is a maximum demand customer of ECO. So we have a meter installed at our end here, and we also have a meter installed at their end there. So we have access to it. So we can see it. So they will generate their bill based on the reading. We can also confirm from the reading. So that's what happens from that end. Now, to customers from our own end who are on maximum demand meter, we have customers like hostels, banks. Yes, those are, and we have our guest house. Those ones, we have the energy data is read monthly because of short of hand. So they also have access to the meter. So whatever information they need, they have access to it. I don't know if that has addressed the question.
All right, thank you very much. We still have a hand up, Mr. Babalola Olugbade. Please, the floor is yours. Or is that an old hand, or do you have a new question? Okay, I would assume that's an old hand. Okay, we have a question from Florence Pam Kwase. Please introduce yourself and the country where you're connecting from. Thank you. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Engineer Florence. I'm calling from Ibadan. I work with Protogy Global Services. We are a meter manufacturer, installer, and importer in Nigeria here. We have a factory at Ibadan. My question is the process of getting meters. I think the speaker said that he cannot speak on the disco aspect, but I think that is the aspect that actually affects the metering process a lot, because number one, the process to create an account from the discos takes too long, and the time is always takes too long for accounts to be created. I think this poses a challenge for some other people, and I think that is why the metering gap is always somehow difficult for us to close it on time. So I don't know if there's any advice that the guest speaker has for us on how we can mitigate this and enhance the process to get meters, or people to get meter easily. I can see before, in many years back, for somebody to create an account with a bank, the process used to be so long. But the banks have a way of making it easy these days, easier. So I don't know if the discos too can adapt this and see. Let's see how it's possible for getting an account with the disco. The process will be made easier, and then metering will come, uh, maybe come along as an easy process as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Florence. Education, over to you.
Okay, yeah. I saw Engineer Gufra earlier on on the session, but I think she's from Ikeja, and I think the issue, like you have rightly said, is has to do with discos. I am very much familiar with Ikeja because I've been their customer for a very long time, and they know I engage them very, very well, and I must say they are proactive, and their customer care is proactive. And I had to meet one of an asked question, and I discovered that what Ikeja does is that any issue that is locked, some people waste their time to go and be lobbying in their office. I know of Ikeja that you don't need to go to their office. Almost all their services is online. And when you apply for anything online, they give you an SR number, and that SR number starts counting from that day. So all you need is to send a follow-up email on that SR number. When it begins to get up to 35 days, I know that the query, whoever is supposed to handle that. So it is an operational issue with Disco and how they tend to want to handle their matter efficiently. So the metering, whatever, the metering gap will be covered when the Discos want to. Let me answer it that way. So is to continue to mount pressure, and like the government is doing, to continue to mount pressure on Discos to see that they meter. And I'm not holding brief for them. I understand also maybe from their point of view, the body may seems much, and they may want to dodge it, but yet it's their responsibility and they can't shy for it. Away from it. So is to continue to mount pressure on Discos to ensure that the willingness to meter their customer is there, then they will do it.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sean, for the brilliant submission. We are just 2 minutes to the end of this call. And first of all, to thank all of you who have made up time to join us today for this very important webinar session. It was very, very insightful. I think I enjoyed the scalable solutions the most because Engineer Sean is giving us lots of solutions based on his very vast experience handling metering for one of the best and biggest and foremost universities in Nigeria, University of Lagos. So thank you very much for joining. Without you, this webinar would not be possible. And of course, to thank our speaker for the wonderful experience he brings to the table and for giving us his time and his knowledge and experience. We also thank you very much. Please, you can send us an email at info.thinkyhearts@gmail.com is on the screen. You can follow us on all our social media handles. And then we look forward to seeing you again in the upcoming webinars. Thank you very much again for coming. And we hope that you have learned a lot. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you again. Bye for now.
My name is Engineer Florence. I'm calling from Ibadan. I work with Protogy Global Services. We are a meter manufacturer, installer, and importer in Nigeria here. We have a factory at Ibadan. My question is the process of getting meters. I think the speaker said that he cannot speak on the disco aspect, but I think that is the aspect that actually affects the metering process a lot. Because number one, the process to create an account from the discos takes too long, and the time is always takes too long for accounts to be created. I think this poses a challenge for some other people, and I think that is why the metering gap is always somehow difficult for us to close it on time. So I don't know if there's any advice that the guest speaker has for us on how we can mitigate this and enhance the process to get meters or people to get meter easily. I can see before in many years back, for somebody to create an account with a bank, the process used to be so long. But the banks have a way of making it easy these days, easier. So I don't know if the discos too can adapt this and let's see how it's possible for getting an account with the disco. The process will be made easier, and then metering will come maybe come along as an easy process as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Florence. Engineer Sean, over to you.
Okay, yeah. I saw Engineer Gufra earlier on on the session, but I think she's from Ikeja, and I think the issue, like you have rightly said, is has to do with discos. I am very much familiar with Ikeja because I've been their customer for a very long time, and they know I engage them very, very well. And I must say they are proactive and their customer care is proactive. And I had to meet with one of an asked question, and I discovered that what Ikeja does is that any issue that is locked, some people waste their time to go and be lobbying in their office. I know of Ikeja that you don't need to go to their office. Almost all their services is online. And when you apply for anything online, they give you an SR number, and that SR number starts counting from that day. So all you need is to send a follow-up email on that SR number. When it begins to get up to 35 days, I know that the query there's whoever is supposed to handle that. So it is an operational issue with Disco and how they tend to want to handle their matter efficiently. So the metering, whatever the metering gap will be covered when the discos want to. Let me answer it that way. So is to continue to mount pressure, and like the government is doing, to continue to mount pressure on discos to see that they meet. And I'm not holding brief for them. I understand also maybe from their point of view, the body may seems much and may want to dodge it, but yet it's their responsibility and they can't shy for it. I mean, away from it. So is to continue to mount pressure on discos to ensure that the willingness to meter their customer is there, then they will do it.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sean, for the brilliant submission. We are just 2 minutes to the end of this call. And first of all, to thank all of you who have made up time to join us today for this very important webinar session. It was very, very insightful. I think I enjoyed the scalable solutions the most because Engineer Sean is giving us lots of solutions based on his very vast experience handling metering for one of the best and biggest and foremost universities in Nigeria, University of Lagos. So thank you very much for joining. Without you, this webinar would not be possible. And of course, to thank our speaker for the wonderful experience he brings to the table and for giving us his time and his knowledge and experience. We also thank you very much. Please, you can send us an email at info.thinkyhearts@gmail.com is on the screen. You can follow us on all our social media handles. And then we look forward to seeing you again in the upcoming webinars. Thank you very much again for coming. And we hope that you have learned a lot. And we hope that you enjoy the rest of your week. Thank you again. Bye for now.
My name is Engineer Florence. I'm calling from Ibadan. I work with Protoge Global Services. We are a meter manufacturer, installer, and importer in Nigeria here. We have a factory at Ibadan. My question is the process of getting meters. I think the speaker said that he cannot speak on the disco aspect, but I think that is the aspect that actually affects the metering process a lot, because number one, the process to create an account from the discos takes too long, and the time is always takes too long for accounts to be created. I think this poses a challenge for some other people, and I think that is why the metering gap is always somehow difficult for us to close it on time. So I don't know if there's any advice that the guest speaker has for us on how we can mitigate this, and enhance the process to get meters, or people to get meter easily. I can see before, in many years back, for somebody to create an account with a bank, the process used to be so long. But the banks have a way of making it this easy these days, easier. So I don't know if the discos too can adapt this and see. Let's see how it's possible for getting an account with the disco. The process will be made easier, and then metering will come, uh, maybe come along as an easy process as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Florence. Engineer Sean, over to you.
Okay, yeah. I saw Engineer Gufra earlier on on the session, but I think she's from Ikeja, and I think the issue, like you have rightly said, is has to do with discos. I am very much familiar with Ikeja because I've been their customer for a very long time, and they know I engage them very, very well, and I must say they are proactive, and their customer care is proactive. And I had to meet with one of an asked question, and I discovered that what Ikeja does is that any issue that is locked, some people waste their time to go and be lobbying in their office. I know of Ikeja that you don't need to go to their office. Almost all their services is online. And when you apply for anything online, they give you an SR number, and that SR number starts counting from that day. So all you need is to send a follow-up email on that SR number. When it begins to get up to 35 days, I know that the query, there's whoever is supposed to handle that. So it is an operational issue with Disco and how they tend to want to handle their matter efficiently. So the metering, whatever, the metering gap will be covered when the Discos want to. Let me answer it that way. So is to continue to mount pressure, and like the government is doing, to continue to mount pressure on discos to see that they meter. And I'm not holding brief for them. I understand also maybe from their point of view, the body may seems much, and they may want to dodge it, but yet it's their responsibility and they can't shy for it. Away from it. So is to continue to mount pressure on discos to ensure that the willingness to meter their customer is there, then they will do it.
Thank you very much, Engineer Sean, for the brilliant submission. We are just 2 minutes to the end of this call. And first of all, to thank all of you who have made up time to join us today for this very important webinar session. It was very, very insightful. I think I enjoyed the scalable solutions the most, because Engineer Sean is giving us lots of solutions based on his very vast experience